Welcome to another episode of the J&J podcast. I'm Jamie.
This is Jameson.
We want to welcome all of our listeners in. We're going to get right into it this week because there are actually some pretty amazing stories going on in the world of sports. And Jameson, this week, let's start with the NFL. I want to start with the quarterback situation on a couple of teams. And the first one that I wanted to start with, and I want to get your input on, is the Colts situation. What in the world is going on with? Okay, Anthony Richardson has been benched for Daniel Jones. What are the Colts doing? I have my thoughts, and I'll actually circle back. But I want your input on that. Let's start there. Anthony Richardson is being benched for Daniel Jones.
Yeah. First off, I'll just say this. You remember like a couple years ago, I was really high on Anthony Richardson. Like, it was him, C.J. Stroud, and Bryce Young in the same draft class. And I was so high on him, I thought that honestly he might have been the best quarterback out of the three. Of course, C.J. Stroud has balled out in the league, and Bryce Young is starting to find his own. It's going to be a very big season for him. But this is another example of a NFL organization mismanaging the quarterback position. We've seen it numerous times. We've seen it from countless organizations, and this is another example of them not managing the quarterback position properly.
Before you finish that, I want to just interject one quick thing. I agree that it's mismanagement of the quarterback position, but I also see a trend where it's mismanagement of a particular type of quarterback.
Facts.
In the NFL, and I don't think I need to go any farther than that. But if there are some questions around that, that to me that's what this feels like.
Yeah, I completely
because
agree.
of the other quarterback that we're going to talk about as well. There's some similarities there.
Facts. And here's what I'll say too about that. It's like it really reminds me of the Bryce Young situation, and you see how that panned out. It's like they threw him in there to the Wolves, didn't really give him time to develop. His weapons were trash. Similar to what's really happened with the Colts, it's like outside of Jonathan Taylor, who can name me three other players on that offense right now for the Indianapolis Colts? That's the first thing. And then you saw what happened with the Bryce Young situation. They threw him out there to the Wolves. It didn't go well. They bench him, give him some time to actually develop, learn under a veteran quarterback, and look what happened. Literally, Bryce Young was like a top 3 to 5 quarterback the last 5-6 games of last season, and there's a lot of people really hyped about Bryce Young, what he can actually do this season. So I think with the Anthony Richardson scenario, I get it. He's dealt with some injuries, but for you to draft somebody with the 4th pick, literally less than 2.5 years ago, and to already bench him, and it's not like they're benching him for somebody that's really good. It's Daniel freaking Jones, for crying out loud. You get what I'm saying? It's Daniel
Jones, man.
Like, this brother couldn't even get it done with the Giants. Like, he was so bad on the Giants, they drafted Jackson Dart, they signed Russell Wilson, and they signed Jameis Winston. That's how bad Daniel Jones was with the Giants. They wouldn't even allow him to be quarterback 3. That brother was so trash. They wouldn't even allow him to be quarterback. They brought in Jameis Winston to be the 3rd-string quarterback, basically, as of now, of the depth chart, over Daniel Jones. That's no knock to Jameis Winston. It just shows you, though, it's like they basically wanted to get rid of Daniel Jones. They were paying him over $40 million a season. So it's like for Anthony Richardson to lose his job this fast to Daniel Jones, and I'll be honest, I've watched a couple of their preseason games. He's been pretty pedestrian. It's not like he's like filled up the stat sheet, or I've seen him overthrow balls, pause on that. Same thing that he basically did for the Giants. I'm just seeing in a different uniform. So,
because he's the same quarterback. It doesn't matter what team he's going to be on.
And here's my thing.
He's lousy.
Here's my thing. And I think I was telling you about the kind of the same thing for Shador. I hope Anthony Richardson gets traded, honestly, to a situation where he can learn and develop under like a veteran quarterback, because people forget. Patrick Mahomes did the exact same thing with Alex Smith whenever he first got drafted to the Chiefs. He was able to sit under him for about a year, learn the offense, and you see how that's taken off. It's like I would love for Anthony Richardson, exactly, Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers did it with Brett Favre. I would
That's
love
right.
for Anthony Richardson to get traded to a team like the Rams, be able to sit under Matthew Stafford and just learn. And then think about it. Sean McVay is one of the best coaches right now in the entire National Football League. I would love to see Anthony Richardson get like a second chance in an organization like that that actually cares about the development of young talent. It just seems like the Colts don't really care, and it's very unfortunate for Anthony Richardson. But your thoughts? I know I've said a lot.
No, you've covered it. I just I wanted to interject that one thought because yeah, it's quarterbacks being mismanaged, but it's also a certain type of quarterback, in my opinion,
I
and
agree.
that leads to the Shador conversation. The fact that he's a QB4 is a joke. Now that it's I guess etched in stone, and so Joe Flacco, who is 127 years old, will be the starting quarterback.
And
That
here's what I'll
is,
say. I'm not too mad about that because I kind of figured that's what the Browns were going to do. It's just like ride the veteran presence in Joe Flacco. Another pause on that. But here's my thing. There's no way you can watch Shador's preseason performance and just the way he played in college and not have him as the second quarterback on the depth chart right now. Like, for him to be behind Dylan
yeah,
Gabriel in his preseason game against the Eagles, the last game he played, the brother had two interceptions and one was a pick six. It's like Shador Sanders came in. He didn't throw for 400 yards, but he won them that game against the Panthers. He managed the offense, made plays when they needed to be made. And if I recall, I don't remember him fumbling the football nor throwing an interception. He actually threw two touchdowns. So
yep.
if you look at that, if you look at the actual stats and look at the stat sheet, and just from everything I've been hearing from like the Browns training camp, all their aficionados, it's like how in the world do you look at that and Shador is still quarterback for him on the depth chart? It makes absolutely no sense. I wasn't expecting him to be the starter, but to be at the bottom of the depth chart is just borderline disrespectful if you ask me.
Well, and I think that it's going to come back to bite them.
Yeah, it
There's no
will.
doubt. It will. And this is a scenario where, listen, to your point about Anthony Richardson, perhaps it's a scenario where he sits,
Yep.
he watches for a couple of years. Hopefully, he gets traded out of that organization to another organization that actually wants to win and values what he brings to the table.
Yep.
But as I said when I interjected earlier, I'm seeing a trend with a certain type of quarterback,
That
and
prime
I'll leave
example,
it at that.
it reminds me of this. Have you seen what Malik Willis has been doing in the preseason for the Packers? It's
I
like he's
have.
another example of where it's like the Titans gave up on him way too soon. And it's like
Yep.
now he's a backup quarterback, but it's like if you watch him play, you cannot tell me that he doesn't have the talent to be a starter for at least one NFL franchise. So that's
No
what's
question.
really infuriating. It's not like there's 15 teams in the National Football League. There's 30. You get what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
it's like looking at some of these quarterbacks, like we always talk about it over the years. I get it; it's a very important position, but there are a lot of scrubs out there that are starters right now at the quarterback position. So
Yes,
it's infuriating. And to your point, I'm starting to see a trend as well. It's very
absolutely.
evident.
It's evident. It's absolutely evident. So, well, let's shift from the NFL. I don't want to really belabor those points because
Facts.
there's not. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, it's a moot point, honestly.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
we see what's going on.
yeah,
What was it? DeMarcus Cousins said. Um, yeah, we see what's
it's
going on.
ridiculous.
It's
It's
ridiculous. Y'all see what's
ridiculous.
going on out here.
It's obvious what's being done out
It's
here.
obvious what's been going on out here. It's obvious. That was a good. That was actually a
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good
good ball
mock right
right there.
there.
That's elite ball
Yes,
knowledge.
very much so. Speaking of ball knowledge, pause. Um, let's move to the WNBA. The Aces had me worried, man.
Yeah, they
Had me
did.
really, really concerned. And they have righted the ship, and they've been on a tear as of late.
Facts.
And so I want to shift to that conversation. And in that conversation, is Asia Wilson now the MVP lead?
That Asia. That
I'm just
MVP.
wondering. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Is this going to be one of those situations like, okay, it was obvious that somebody started out the
Yeah.
season as the MVP. She got hurt.
Yep.
Asia's been going off. Now I have my own input.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can compare this to some other scenarios.
Facts.
NFL last year, we certainly got
NBA.
lots of. I was about to say we got lots of examples in the NBA.
Yep.
But let's talk about the Aces first. The fact that they've been on a tear, and I'll give you my input about because I was thinking about this the other day, whether or
Yeah.
not the person that we think
Her
started out
Nafisa
as
Collier.
MVP,
Yeah.
yes, Yes, should she still be? And I'm going to tell you what my
Whew.
thoughts are
I'll
about
give you
that.
my
But
thoughts too.
yeah, so your thoughts about the Aces being on the tear, and it's obviously connected because
Yeah,
Asia
yeah.
Wilson is woo.
Here,
She has been balling.
here's what I'll say. And we you remember we like to your point. You started off by saying we were kind of disappointed in Aces, and this is literally the reason why. It's like when they're clicking on all cylinders, it's like playing good defense. Everybody has it going. They're like I know their record doesn't show it, but they're still like a top four seed right now in all the entire WNBA. But they're a team come playoff time, like they can be right back in the finals in a couple months. Like they have that level of talent. And then Asia Wilson's arguably the best player in the WNBA right now. And she's been
Yep,
showing it. And it's like I think the biggest shift that I've seen for the Aces has been the play of Chelsea Gray,
finally.
finally, and it's been the play of Jewel Lloyd. Because you remember, like I said it for the last couple months, I was like that Kelsey Plum Jewel Lloyd trade could go down as one of the worst in WNBA history. But so far, like the last like month and a half, Jewel Lloyd has finally been able to like fit in with the team. She's been way more productive on the offensive end. She's playing way better defense. And then Chelsea Gray, it's like she's been able to knock down more perimeter shots. And like even the other day, like a lot of their role players have just been knocked down from beyond the arc. Like the other day, Chelsea Gray had 16 assists. That was the most she's ever had in a regular season game. And it's like part of that was because Aisha Wilson has literally just been unstoppable. And then on top of that, like a lot of the role players, like even someone like Jackie Young, just pure consistency. Like she's been she's elevated her game to another level the last month and a half. So the Aces are really scary right now. And then this leads me to my Asia Wilson thought. I'm gonna be honest. I feel bad for the
Yes,
piece of Collier because she can't control
yes.
getting injured, but Asia Wilson's the MVP right now. I'm sorry. It's like
See,
here's my and the reason why I say that is they were literally borderline like on
missing
the
the
break of missing
playoffs.
the playoffs. They now are like
Yeah,
tied with like the second and third seed right now. They could potentially end the season being like the second or third seed. So and really
which would be crazy.
that's all due to Asia Wilson's play. Like she's taking
It
her
is.
game to a whole nother level. Even
Which
last
I
night,
didn't.
yeah. No, you go ahead.
I didn't know. I was just going to say very quickly. I didn't know. I knew she had another gear,
Yeah,
but good lord,
and it's like they
um,
needed every bit of it too.
they have.
Um,
And I will say this very quickly about Chelsea Gray.
yeah,
Man, I was because I
yeah.
was just flat out
The
killing
point
her.
guard.
Yeah, I was like, well, you might want to take out the point because she ain't scoring.
Facts.
She can't. She couldn't hit the side of a barn.
Facts.
But that adjustment has made a difference. And to your point, um, her passes, they're actually now being converted
Yep.
because people were leaving her wide open, and they were
Facts.
like, "Yeah, we dare you to shoot." I mean, it was almost like the Russell Westbrook effect,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we're gonna leave you wide open
Yep.
because you're not gonna make the shot,"
Yep.
and thus, if you pass the ball and nobody makes their shot, then you're not as effective
Yep.
as a point guard.
And
Um,
it's been a defensive end too, because it's like they've been talking about
yes,
it. Becky Hammon has been preaching that to them, and it's like people forget. Just a month ago, they lost by 50 points to the Lynx. So to go from
that's my
that to
point.
like they've literally won like 9 out of their last 10 games. Even like their game last night against the Dream, who's another team that's going to be really scary come playoff time. Like Asia
Yes,
Wilson was the difference down the stretch. It's like they can literally give her the ball and get a bucket, whether it be like she's either gonna get fouled or she's scoring. There's no in between. Like it's that
yep,
simple. And she's been unstoppable. Like even on the defensive end, like she's increased her blocks per game. She's getting more rebounds. It's like I've been thoroughly impressed. And it's hard not to watch those games. Just and like she's the MVP. I'm sorry. It's
yeah.
unfortunate because Nafisa was the clear cut MVP. And she got hurt. She's been out the last like 2.5 weeks. But I'm sorry, bruh. There's no way you can watch how Asia Wilson's played the last month and a half and not say she's the MVP. It's just it's pretty obvious at this point, in my opinion. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Um, so, Jameson, let's talk about the Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Um, I'm thinking that Paige is probably. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like it's Paige.
Oh yeah, it
Um,
is.
I don't I don't think that there's anybody else. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else that we need to discuss. I think it's Paige. I think, you know, and I listen. I'm not gonna mention it because there's always that, Oh, she's not necessarily CC and she's not bringing. Man, bottom line is, what do your eyes tell you? She she makes adjustments. She doesn't flop. If she gets knocked off the ball, it doesn't matter. She's going to go get a bucket. I've seen her, score through fouls. I haven't seen all the flopping, all the falling down. I just don't. I think it's her, and I think there's nobody else that's close.
Honestly, I completely agree. And the only other person that I would give an argument is Sonya. I can never pronounce her name. Is Citron or whatever from the Mystics. She's really good. Like she's had a really phenomenal season, and the Mystics have been a really good team. Quiet as kept. I think they're honestly going to end up missing out on the playoffs. Unfortunately, but I think it could end up being Sonya Citron, and then um, outside of that, um, I think it's clear cut Page. And I'll be honest, because I've heard people debating it the last couple weeks. I might take Paige Beckers right now over Caitlin Clark, even as a rookie. She's been that good. I know that might be a very controversial statement, but Paige is literally already coming to the league and dominate. Like she doesn't play like she's a rookie. Like she plays like she's been in the league at least 2-3 years. So huge shout out to Paige and what she's done. It's just very unfortunate that the Wings absolutely suck. Like they absolutely stink as a franchise. But I do think, with the right offseason move or two, I think like the Wings can actually be very competitive next year. And it's crazy for me to say this, but like Arike Agumawale is on that team, and I still think Paige Beckers is the best player on that team right now, and she's a rookie. Like that's saying a lot. You know what I'm saying? So huge shout out to Paige and what she's been able to do this season. Like I knew she was gonna be good because what people forget is like she was Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. That year where she hurt her knee, like people really forgot how good she was, and she was really able to silence the doubters and stuff with UConn winning the national championship this past year. But Paige special, man. She's tough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, we've been talking about, Asia, Nafisa Collier, what Paige is doing. So bottom line is when you look at the WNBA, it's broken its all-time regular season attendance record, and there's still a month left in the season.
Hey.
And I think it's literally see. Here's the truth. Um, People can talk about CC all they want. It's not just her.
No. And people
You
been
and I
trying
were
to say
watching
we've been trying to say that for a year or
for
two now.
years.
Yeah.
Yes, you and I have been watching the WNBA long before she ever came into the league. Is she good for the league? Absolutely, because there's a certain demographic that watches her, but that demographic, a lot of her demographic that watches, let's
They're
just be
new
honest, they're not even.
fans.
Well, first of all, they're not even watching.
Facts. They only
Um,
watch her. That's the big
that's
thing.
right, exactly. And so we've been watching for a while, and so that for us, we're thankful that that the numbers are going up and that
Yep.
more eyes are on it. But the truth of the matter is, she's not the box office person
No.
at this point. Just because, listen, she's going to have to do some work in the off season. Because the truth of the matter is, even when she was playing, she wasn't playing well. Teams had figured her out.
Facts.
She's got to add some stuff to her tool belt. Paige already has a lot of that.
With all
And
due
Paige is
respect, I've been saying this. She the third best player on the Fever right now. I'm sorry, healthy
oh,
or
no
not,
question.
because I've been saying this for the last year, and that's why I'm glad they re-signed her because they couldn't afford to lose her, and it's showing right now. Kelsey Mitchell's the best player on the Fever. It's not even close. Like
Absolutely, and
if
has been on a
and that's what's
tear.
wild. Fever fans will sit up there and tell me otherwise. Like I'm like, you're clearly not watching the games, or you're just watching
No,
with a biased mindset and perspective because there's no way. Dad, they have won more games without her. Like they've been on a tear without
I
her.
know.
Kelsey Mitchell has
Absolutely.
been balling. Like they re-signed Odyssey Sims. She's been hooping. Aaliyah Boston's been playing really well. Sophie Cunningham was playing really well. Of course, they
Of
just
course.
announced she's out for the rest of the season. She hurt
Yeah,
her MCL, but they've been on a tear in spite of not having her, and that's even after the DeWanna Bonner trade. Like people
that's
forget
right.
about that. Like Kelsey Mitchell's the best player on the Fever. It's not relatively close if you ask me.
It's
Um,
not. It's not close.
yeah,
Speaking of players being out and teams that are terrible. Whew, my God, the Sky are.
I feel
I
bad for
mean,
Angel Reese, man.
they're putrid.
I watched that
Um,
game last night. Like she came back 19 points. I think it was like 10 rebounds, 6 assists. And of granted, I mean they're playing the Storm, who is a really good, gonna give teams a lot of problems come playoff time. But it's like They were so close in that game. I'm telling you, I've been saying this for the last couple months. They either need. I hope Angel Reese either gets traded, or I hope this offseason the Sky can just get a scoring guard. And what really
Yeah,
ticks me off is they had it last year when Kennedy Carter, and they just let
they
her play
did.
overseas now. It's like all the Sky are missing, in my opinion, is a scoring guard. It's like because Angel Reese has elevated her game to the next level. Camila Cardoso has been phenomenal. It's like they just need more production from the guard spot. If they can find a way to get that, like I told you, my prayer for them is that they end up getting Olivia Miles next year, Azzy
Mm,
Fudd. If they can get one of those two, the Sky are going to be a
mm.
playoff team, no doubt in my
I would
mind.
agree. I would agree.
But it's
And the
unfortunate
other,
now. They suck.
yeah. Well, the other part of it is too that Angel Reese is now being used properly
Yep, that's
because
the
she
difference.
wasn't. Yeah. I mean, she really is a
Yeah.
point forward.
Dad, I'm gonna
Um,
keep it a stack with you too. I think I told you this. I commend her for even coming back and playing. It's like
Me
she's
too.
literally playing for absolutely nothing right now, and it was a back injury. I'm like, you know how back injuries can be; those can be lingering. It's like you don't want to ever rush back from that. So there's not that much more time left in the season. It's like they're really playing for a draft lottery spot at this point. So it's like I even commend her for coming back and playing, and then playing hard.
Well, somebody in her camp needs to tell her to get in touch with Joel Embiid,
Facts.
uh,
That's a
because
whole different. Or Kawhi
that's a
Leonard's
whole
agent.
exactly. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, man. That
Mellow management.
that's hilarious. But no, I'm gonna leave that alone because I don't know what's gonna happen with him. That's a whole nother
Facts.
conversation.
And you know I love
Um,
Kawhi, so no disrespect
yes,
to Kawhi, but nah, like
yeah,
I that's why I commend her though. And it's like Angel Reese, she's gonna give 120% no matter if her team's winning or losing. Like that's what I've always appreciated about her game. And it showed last night. It's like she was just coming off an injury, playing the hardest, giving the most effort out there. Like
yeah,
it was clear and evident. So huge kudos to her, and it's like I'm really happy with the spot the WNBA's in. It's like, and it's only going to continue to grow. That's what's scary.
absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. Speaking of Joel Embiid, that's a perfect segue to move on to the NBA. John Wall announced his retirement.
Man,
Um,
that hurt me, man.
that hurt. That hurt. We personally know John,
Yep.
and I don't understand because I feel like John should have been and
What's
could have
wild is
been.
though he only played 11 seasons. Like I thought it was more. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
really not a lot in the grand scheme of things. And it's like he's another one
but not
where
when you're comparing cats to folks like LeBron.
true,
Uh,
facts.
right,
But
right.
it's like we said this years ago, like even before he re-signed with the Clippers, when he was still with the Rockets, like we were begging for the Lakers to get him at that point because there was like
We were.
it was like clear, like watching him play for the Rockets, there was still a lot left in the tank for John. But I'll say this: it seems like he's really at peace. He's happy, and then they already announced today he's going to be an analyst for NBA on Prime this upcoming season. So he's already making moves, outside of retirement. So I'm really happy for him, and it's like he has his sons. It's like I feel like he'll be actually be able to enjoy his retirement now, and he's always good. Like he's always been a great role model, and like a really good person to look up to. Anybody from the North Carolina Raleigh area. So huge shout out to John Wall, man. Hashtag Wallway. That John Wall monster.
That John Wall. Listen, I will also say he's a great ambassador for the game and
Facts.
certainly for the Raleigh,
Yep.
North Carolina in general, but the Raleigh Durham community. Um, Always doing stuff there.
Yep.
What used to be called the Glaxo is now the John Wall.
We go to that
Um,
every year.
we go to that every year, and so yeah, a huge shout out to him. To your point, I think he's at peace, and I'm excited for the next chapter in his life.
Same.
Um, so one other quick topic in the NBA is Luca. We got to talk about him. Um, so this cat has lost weight. He is looking completely toned, and then he's on a tear. Although we were a little bit concerned because
Yeah,
he got hurt.
my heart sank on Saturday when I saw that tweet. Um,
Yes,
yeah.
but then the cat came back.
Yep.
So I'll let you talk about it because the truth is we both think maybe he shouldn't keep playing, but
Yeah.
then there's the other side of it where we're like, well, he tends to have that mentality of playing himself into shape.
Exactly.
Um, and so the fact that he's lost weight, the fact that he's toned, and he's now playing in a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It allows him not to come into the season trying to get into shape. He
Which is
actually,
huge.
which is huge for him. So, your thoughts on that?
No, I'll be honest. I know we were talking about this offline as well, but after I first saw that injury scare, it was like, you remember me, I was like, Rob Pelinka needs to call and shut it down. I don't care if you have to get a Slovenian translator. It's like, you got to shut it down, bro. But now watching now watching him come back though, it's like literally the game after he had 28 points. He had 21 in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
That's crazy.
absolutely been on it. I've been watching some of the games and stuff too whenever I can. Of course, like it's a time
Yep.
difference, but the biggest thing I've been seeing in Luka's game, the passing's there. He's coming down pulling from 35 feet from three as well. I don't know if people have been noticing that, but the biggest takeaway for me has been he's been giving effort on defense, and I'm like, if he's doing
That's
this,
huge.
that's huge. And
Yeah.
here's my thing for Luka. Heading into next season, I'm not expecting him to be Lou Dort defensively. Like we talk about it all the time. 95% of the NBA superstars don't give effort defensively until come playoff time.
That's right.
There's the rare ones like Shea or like Anthony Edwards that always give effort on both ends. But we're not asking Luka to be a Dyson Daniels next year. All we're asking him to do is just give some effort, especially come playoff time, because it's like that's when it was clear they were literally he was a pure liability on defense. Same with Austin Reeves. So it's like if we're gonna make it far this year in the playoffs, and we're just gonna ride Luka's shoulders, he's gonna have to play defense come playoff time. So the fact that he's already given effort on defense overseas, before the season even starts, I love it. And to your point, I do want him to continue to play. It's like it's one of those things where maybe they can just continue to manage his minutes, honestly, because that's what
Yep.
they did the last game. It's like he played a ton in the first half, and then they took a pretty big lead, and he didn't have to play as much in the second half. So maybe they can continue to do that. But I think the positive for it is, to your point, like similar to Nikola Jokic, him, Harden, those type of players, they always play themselves into shape, and a lot of times you risk injury doing that. Like it's hard to
Yes.
go from sitting on your couch eating Ruffles to just playing against Kevin Durant and that level of talent at night in and night out. It's like a lot of times that's what leads to injury. Like you remember last year, but even before Luka got traded, he missed it was like a month and a half because of he hurt his hamstring, and I think part of the reason why that injury even took place was because he was out of shape. So
Yeah.
the fact that he's already going to come into a season being in shape and giving more effort on the defensive side of the basketball, it's like I'm all for it. I'm very excited for the season to go ahead and start. But your thoughts?
Nope, I completely agree with everything that you said.
Yeah.
I was concerned about, the injury, and but then I saw, and to your point, he had 21 points in the first quarter or
Hmm.
something like that, the first half or whatever it was, and he ended with 28. So that just lets me know they were managing his minutes to make sure.
Yep.
That he's not, doing anything crazy, but he's still putting up ridiculous numbers. So I like it. I like the fact that this might, for the first time, we might see him come into camp. And I mean, this is not a knock on him because it's obviously been effective, but you want to have a long term career, and that's part of what apparently the Dallas Mavericks were saying.
Yeah, they were.
You come
Yeah.
in every year, you're out of shape, you work your way into it, and then of course you end up getting hurt, and then you miss long stretches of the season. So I like it. I think that he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's shown that by the fact that he's gotten into shape. I just hope it's something that he maintains.
And you know what I
Um,
thought about the other day? I was like, I feel like every superstar goes through like this point in their career. Like you remember for Shaq, it was like they said similar stuff to him. It was like he was always out of shape. That's why Kobe used to get ticked off with him. It's like
yep.
Kobe was busting his chops, working out at 4 a.m. and he was in the rap studio. You know what I'm saying? So, but the second that Shaq shifted his mindset, they won back-to-back championships. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
So LeBron was the same way. It was like LeBron was somewhat passive when he first got to Miami and stuff, and D Wade handed him the Brinks. Like, and you saw what happened from there. He won back-to-back championships for the Heat. Then you saw what he did in Cleveland. It's like I think this could be a turning point in his career. Same with Kobe Bryant. It was like when Kobe switched from number 8 back to 24. There was a shift in his game and his mindset and the mentality, and you saw what happened after that. Like, so I think this is that turning point for Luke in his career, and we could look back on this. I mean, I already feel like we low key fleeced the Mavericks, but we could look back on this 4 or 5 years from now and be like, man, Nico Harrison really, ignited that spark and sparked something in Luka that could be a really big turning point in his career. Because like one thing I thought about how good Luka has been. Think about it compared to like the Tatums of the world, the Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders, the Nikola Jokic's, the Giannis's. Luka doesn't have a Finals ring or a Finals MVP nor a regular season MVP yet. Think about it. Shai has an MVP. He has a Finals MVP. He has a championship. Jason Tatum, he has a Finals MVP. Excuse me, not Finals MVP, but Finals win. Nikola Jokic, regular season MVP, Finals MVP, championship. Same with Giannis. So, we'll see what happens with Luka, but I'm really excited for the season to go ahead and start.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up this week's episode, as we always do, with moving the needle. And Jameson, what's your moving the needle for this week?
I'll be honest, this is moving the needle, but I honestly laughed when I saw the announcement today. But my moving the needle is going to be Gervonta Tank Davis, my favorite boxer, is going to be fighting Jake Paul in an exhibition on Netflix in November. But here's my thing. Jake Paul is literally like 8 inches taller than him and like 70 pounds heavier than him. Like
that. So that's what. As soon as listen, I'm gonna let you finish. Bro. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, that's why I don't take this dude serious.
No,
I'm never going to take him seriously because you're not even fighting somebody in your own weight class.
And what's wild is he's probably still going to lose.
Well, you would think, but I mean, and I listen. He should lose still, but the truth of the matter is, box someone in your weight division.
That's an actual boxer.
Actual boxer. Thank you. Exactly. Not Mike Tyson, 60-year-old Mike Tyson, MMA fighters. Come on, man. Who converted to boxing? It's a joke. It's just literally really to make money. It really is. So listen, I'm not mad at Tank for going to get that paper.
That's because I thought he was saying he was retired, but I'm like, hey, get your bag, bro. Because Netflix giving out free money at this point.
Yeah,
like you think they would have learned their lesson with the whole Mike Tyson fiasco? Because that was some of the worst boxing I've ever seen in my life. But
it was ridiculous.
You think they would learn from that? But I'm like, hey, part 2, I guess they just giving away money at this point.
Yeah, just backing up Brinks trucks.
Because that's what's wild. We're talking about it. We will be watching. I will be there.
Because it's on Netflix. I'm not going to pay-per-view.
Facts. I'll be honest, because at first I didn't see that it was going to be on Netflix. I was like, I'm about to pull up that crack stream monster. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying to watch that. But the second I saw it was on Netflix, I was like, oh, we will be there. That's absolute cinema.
Not crack streams.
I'm not crack streams. I'm not crack streams.
Oh, God. All right. Well, we might want to do our podcast on the VPN going forward.
That's funny.
Oh gosh. All right. Funny. Well, yeah. So anything else about your moving the needle for the week?
Nah, that was my moving the needle. I think it's just gonna be pretty fun to watch. Just pretty funny, entertaining.
Yeah. Literally, I'm gonna get a big gulp and some popcorn because that's all this is entertainment.
Yep.
I can't take it seriously.
Facts.
Well, my moving the needle is Tar Bill Belichick. Oh my goodness.
Yep, he making some moves.
Listen, he's making some moves. Listen, I wasn't sure how to feel about it. I was like, man, I don't know. I'm just not sure.
I thought it was a publicity stunt at first. I didn't think it was real.
I did too.
But
yeah, if you remember, you actually said to me, you were like, Dad, I think he's just doing that so that he can get back into the NFL.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case at all. No. I mean, this cat has like he has literally turned. I don't even remember how many, but there was most recently a 4-star commit.
I saw that.
And I think he had committed to Oregon or Ohio State or something.
It was Oregon.
And it was Oregon. He flipped him. So shout out. Listen, I don't know what Carolina's football season is going to look like, but here's what I do know. I'll be watching.
Facts. And I don't think there's been this much hype going into a Carolina football season in like over a decade. If I'm being honest.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how many games we're going to win. I'm not sure because he's going to figure some things out.
Yeah.
He'll win just a couple of games simply because he's a very, very good coach.
Exactly. And we have better talent this year.
Absolutely. So I don't know what to expect. I don't even know how many games we're going to win, but
we will be there.
We will be there. We will be there. And listen, I'll be watching this a little bit more intently than I will the Tank Davis and Jake Paul fight. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
So that's my moving the needle for the week.
I love it.
Yep, absolutely. So that is going to do it for this week's episode of the J&J podcast. Next week, no, I'm sorry, week after next.
Yep.
Same bat channel, same bat time. Thanks for listening.